What if I told you that most people never find their true life purpose because they're looking in all the wrong places? Yep, you heard that right. While many believe that purpose is some mystical, unreachable thing reserved for a select few, the truth is it's been closer than you think, right inside you. The problem, you were trained to ignore it. From an early age, we're taught to pick careers based on money, status, or what seems safe. But rarely do we hear the question, what truly makes you come alive? The result? Thousands of people stuck in jobs they despise, living a life devoid of passion, fulfillment, and prosperity. But guess what? It doesn't have to be that way. There's a path, and it's much simpler than you think. If you feel lost, unsure of your true talent, or how to turn your passion into a thriving career, relax. Today, you're about to discover 5 clear steps to find your life purpose and align what you love with what can earn you money. This isn't about wishful thinking. What you're about to learn has already transformed the lives of thousands, and it could transform yours too. But before we dive in, a word of warning. This isn't content for those seeking empty shortcuts or baseless motivational quotes. Here you'll find real, actionable, and powerful strategies. If you're ready to break free from inertia and finally give your journey a deeper meaning, come with me, because what I'm about to show you could change everything. Have you ever stopped to think that what comes naturally to you might be the biggest clue to your life's purpose? Some people captivate crowds with their engaging communication. Others have a natural knack for sales, while some master quantum physics like they're following a simple recipe. The problem is, most people ignore these talents because they think what comes easily has no value. But what if it were just the opposite? True prosperity is born when you align talent and passion with a clear purpose. Think of a great chef. For them, blending spices and creating amazing dishes is almost instinctive. For others, cooking is a nightmare. That ease isn't a coincidence, it's a sign. The same goes for any skill. If writing comes naturally, if understanding fashion is a joy, or if working with technology flows effortlessly, pay attention. These are valuable clues about what can generate income and a meaningful life purpose. Scientific astrology might be an interesting tool in this process. Many dismiss it without a second thought, but there are studies showing that natal charts can reveal personality patterns and natural talents. If top entrepreneurs and strategists use this type of knowledge to guide their decisions, why couldn't you use it to better understand your own aptitudes? Self-awareness is one of the pillars of prosperity, and any tool that helps you with that is worth considering. Want a practical exercise? Grab a piece of paper and divide it into 2 columns. On one side, write down everything you love to do. On the other, list everything you do well without much effort. Compare the lists and see what overlaps. That's where the gold lies. Many people spend years trying to fit their skills into traditional careers without realizing they can forge their own path based on what they already do with passion and excellence. There's no sense in ignoring what's already inside you. If you've always had a knack for argument, why not explore areas like law, sales, or content creation? If understanding investments excites you, have you ever thought about working in the financial market? What seems easy for you might be an absolute mystery to others, and that means there's value there. But to take the next step, you need to acknowledge something essential. Most people underestimate their own qualities because they're too busy admiring those of others. While a programmer might envy the skills of a public speaker, the speaker would love to have the razor-sharp logic of a programmer. It's funny, but many people go through life without realizing they already have everything they need to prosper. They just need to see and value their own abilities. Have you ever stopped to think about what yours are? Writing it down might seem simple, but there's immense power in doing so. When you list your qualities, you activate parts of your brain responsible for cognition and imagination, making those characteristics more conscious and easier to develop. Grab a paper right now and write, what are your natural abilities? Communication, empathy, creativity, strategic thinking. If you're stuck, ask close friends. Sometimes an outside perspective sees more clearly what you haven't yet noticed. And you know what's even more interesting? Often, your unique quality isn't in an obvious field. You might not be the best salesperson, but you have a charisma that makes people trust you. You may not be a whiz with numbers, but you have a knack for making spot-on financial decisions. The secret is to look beyond technical skills and see what truly sets you apart in the world. That has value. And more than that, it might be the key to your prosperity. Be honest with yourself. What do people always compliment you on? Maybe it's your patience, your ability to teach, or your natural leadership. These are clues to what makes you unique, and consequently, your purpose. Great entrepreneurs and leaders didn't get to where they are solely because of technical knowledge. They understood the power of their personal qualities and used that to their advantage. Bill Gates wasn't the world's best programmer, but he knew how to leverage his strategic vision. The same goes for you. Once you recognize your unique qualities, something shifts. You stop trying to fit into molds that don't suit who you really are. The next step, define exactly what you want to do with this newfound power, because knowing who you are only makes sense if you know what you're going to do with it. Having clarity about what you want in life is a game changer between those who go in circles and those who build a solid path toward prosperity. Many let fate decide for them, but those who truly prosper take control and set a clear purpose. And what's the simplest and most powerful way to do that? Creating a life mission statement, a short, direct, affirmative sentence that sums up your current mission. Something like, I help people grow, I teach prosperity strategies, and I pave the way to financial success. But it's not enough to just think about that sentence. You need to write it down. Writing on paper isn't just a whim, it's science. Engaging your motor skills while writing reinforces the neural connections related to cognition, making that idea more concrete and real. Want a challenge? Grab a notebook now and write your mission statement. It doesn't have to be perfect on the first try. The important thing is to give shape to what's inside you. Over time, you can refine it and make it even more aligned with your passion and purpose. And why is this so powerful? Because the brain needs direction. Without a clear goal, it gets lost in distractions and doubts. Have you noticed that when you set something clear, like planning a trip to a specific destination, everything seems to start aligning in your favor? You see discounted flights, meet people who've been there, get unexpected tips. It's not a coincidence, it's selective focus. When you create a life mission statement, your mind begins filtering information and opportunities that align with that purpose. Now, think of the great names that have impacted the world. Steve Jobs didn't create Apple just because he loved technology. He had a clear mission to change the way people interact with innovation. Oprah didn't become a phenomenon merely because she loved communication. Her purpose has always been to inspire and uplift others. Success isn't by chance. It comes from having a clear purpose. And that clarity starts with a simple sentence on paper, but it doesn't stop at writing it down and forgetting about it. Your mission statement should become a mantra. Repeat it to yourself, visualize living that mission, and adjust it when necessary. The key is to stay connected with that idea because it will be your guide in times of doubt. And speaking of connection, there's something even more powerful than written words: intuition. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Next, the mind shouts, but the heart whispers, and that's where the true power of intuition lies. Most people live disconnected from this inner compass because they've been taught to rely only on logic and what seems safe. But big decisions, the ones that truly change lives, rarely come from pure reason. If that were the case, no one would leave a stable job to pursue a passion. No one would risk starting a new business. No one would bet on an unconventional path. Yet those who prosper know there's something beyond logic, inner guidance. Scientific research has shown that the heart emits a powerful electromagnetic field capable of influencing our emotions and decisions. This explains why some people feel when something is right or wrong even before they have a rational explanation. Have you ever experienced that? That moment when something inside you urged you to follow a path and later you discovered it was the best decision. It's not magic, it's science. Intuition is a skill that can be honed, and the more you listen to it, the stronger it becomes. But how do you know if it's intuition or fear? Simple. Intuition gives you a sense of expansion, of lightness, even if the path seems challenging. Fear, on the other hand, holds you back, weighs you down, shrinks you. A practical tip is, whenever you're faced with an important decision, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, does this make me feel more alive or more trapped? Your body always responds before your mind. The question is whether you're willing to listen. And why is this essential for your prosperity? Because insisting on the wrong path comes at a high cost. The longer you spend ignoring your intuition and forcing something that doesn't resonate with your purpose, the more energy, money, and opportunities you lose. Have you seen people who spend years in a job they hate, in a relationship that makes no sense, or in a business that just doesn't flow? That happens because they stopped listening to themselves. When you connect with your inner guidance, opportunities start appearing effortlessly. You notice synchronicities, meet the right people, and feel guided. And that's because you're finally aligned with something bigger. Speaking of signs from the universe, there's a powerful way to better understand your purpose. Revisiting the moments when you felt happiest. Let's explore that now. Life always leaves clues. The problem is, most people are too busy doubting themselves to notice them. One of the most effective ways to find your purpose is to revisit the times when you felt truly happy. Have you ever stopped to think about that? That moment when you lost track of time because you were so engrossed in something. It might have been a trip, a professional achievement, a life-changing conversation, or even a simple afternoon doing what you love. These moments aren't random. They say a lot about what really drives you. For instance, if the most memorable moments of your life involve helping people, teaching, or inspiring, perhaps your purpose is tied to education, human development, or even leadership. If those moments were about creation, innovation, and discovery, maybe your mission involves entrepreneurship, science, or art. And if your happiest moments revolved around freedom, like traveling, exploring new cultures, and meeting new people, perhaps you're meant for something that involves movement, new experiences, and connections. And here's something even more interesting. Many ignore these signs because they believe happiness and money don't go hand in hand. But what if it's exactly the opposite? Those who truly prosper don't separate work and pleasure. They find a way to monetize what they love to do. Have you noticed that the people who really shine at what they do seem to be having fun? It's no coincidence. When you align passion, purpose, and profession, money becomes a natural byproduct. Here's a practical exercise. Take a few minutes and write down 5 moments in your life when you felt completely fulfilled. They don't have to be extraordinary, just genuine moments of joy. Then analyze them. Is there a pattern, something that repeats, a connection between them? The answer to what you should do with your life might be hidden in these memories. Your mind might doubt, but your story never lies. If you've made it this far, you've probably realized that finding your purpose isn't an unreachable mystery. In fact, the answers have always been inside you. You just needed someone to show you the way. Now that you have that clarity, there's just one thing left, turning all of this into action. Because knowledge without application is just information. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. Now that you have the keys to discover your passion and align it with your life's purpose, there's only one question left. What are you going to do with this knowledge? Because knowing the path and not following it is like having a treasure map and not taking a single step to find it. The truth is, life is constantly giving you signs. The problem is most people are too busy doubting themselves to see them. So I challenge you, today, not tomorrow, not on Monday, but right now, grab a piece of paper and jot down at least one insight you gained here. What skill have you been ignoring? Which passion can be turned into a career? What makes your heart race that you're afraid to pursue? Because, in the end, the only thing separating you from the prosperity you desire is action. Be honest with yourself. How many years of your life have you spent doing something that doesn't fulfill you? Do you really want to keep living in that cycle, or are you ready for a change? Don't wait for a grand revelation or a sign from the universe to drop from the sky. The sign has already come. It was hidden in every word you read here. Now it's up to you to turn it into reality, and if you want to continue this journey of self-discovery and growth, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for more content like this. Because finding your purpose is just the beginning, and I'll be here to guide you on this path to a life filled with more passion, prosperity, and meaning.